There's 6 core components of the program. The first one is working with young children. So Primary Project works most effectively with children that are beginning their school career. We look at it as early as preschool up to 2nd or 3rd grade.
Well, the teachers really helped us to identify a need that David had. He tends to be quite shy and can also have difficulty adjusting to new situations, and that was what was occurring in his kindergarten is he was having difficulty separating in the morning and then throughout the day adjusting to the class. So the teachers thought that it would be a good idea for him to come to Primary Project to help with his acclimation to his new classroom.
It's a research-based program that I know for an absolute fact works. When I started in Primary Project, which was years ago, in our district it was 9 schools when I started. We're up to 24 schools in our district now. And it's my goal to try to get it in every single elementary school. It's a program that I'm very passionate about, only because I've seen it. I've seen how it changes the lives of the individuals that have graduated from the program.
Well, Primary Project being a preventative program, I think that it is putting students in a successful experience, and as a principal, a lot of the situations that may involve with students are often reactive. Something has already happened. What I see the benefits of Primary Project being is it's addressing a lot of those issues of students that are potentially at risk, so we can help them meet their needs before we need to do something in reaction to.
And I've had principals come to me and say to me, you know, what do I need to do to make sure that this program stays in my building?
The second core component is some sort of systematic screening and selection. In today's language, we call it an RTI measure, a response to intervention measure, where we look at all children in a group and we select the kids that are going to benefit the most from the project.
And so we're really trying to capture kids before their difficulties grow into something that requires a more intense level of intervention.
The third core component is the child associate. They're the heart and soul of the program. They're the ones that work on a one-to-one basis with the children.
I think the ideal child associate is somebody who's able to stay with the child in the present moment so that the child feels like somebody's really paying attention to what I'm doing, they really care about what I'm doing, and they understand what I'm doing.
The fourth core component is a changing role for a school mental health professional. School mental health people typically work directly with children, but in this program, they work with the associate who works with the children. So they supervise, train, and support the associate.
One of the things that makes it a talking point for teachers is we try to explain that kids do well when they can. So if there's barriers that they're experiencing at home that they may not be able to verbalize to somebody else, this time is the perfect opportunity for them, because we have to deal with their immediate needs first and their affective domain before they can pay attention or focus in class.
The fifth core component is ongoing program evaluation, and that is keeping track of what changes you see in kids, getting feedback, so it's ongoing, continuous improvement with how children are doing, which also links to response to intervention. After a child has support, do you notice changes in their behavior?
We make sure that the teachers know that last year, every category that the teachers filled out for the student or the child associate filled out for the student, there was a progress, so that the program does work. So the teachers see, the administration sees that the program does work through data.
And the sixth core component is integration into the school community. Is it considered part of the fabric of the school? How does it link? Are the people interacting with others on campus? So it's making sure it becomes part of that continuum of care and support for the children.
If it was hard for people to understand, it's spend just 30 minutes or an hour with a young child, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, or even a 6-year-old, and ask them to talk about their feelings. And I think anyone would have a difficult time understanding what they're trying to tell you just because of their limited complexity of language. But when you see that the child is very aggressive in a certain play, or certain characters take on certain names or personalities, that gives you that bridge to further that conversation and get an idea that something may potentially be bothering that child, or there are some skills that need to be developed.
So as we allow the children to solve the problems themselves, they start learning how to do that problem solving. And then they can use that in future relationships. So that's one of the things that we know.
I just think it has been an excellent experience for our David. He really has been able to form more positive relationships with the teachers and the adults at school. My husband and I believe strongly in the connection between school and home. And we believe every student should have a homeschool experience. The home and school should meld together.
Another thing that we know is resilient kids really have good attachments. And a lot of times we think about a baby's attachment to a parent, but when you think about a child feeling like they belong in school and they're really attached to a school environment, they're going to do much better.
I think play is learning. It is a natural instinct to learn through play. Our earliest learning development happened through play. Language occurs through play. Problem solving occurs through play. The ability for students to develop skills around resiliency happens through play. So I would certainly argue any criticism that anything is just play. You can just say it's just learning.
Anytime that children can gain a more positive relationship with the teachers and all the people that work at school, I think that has made him feel so much more comfortable, and he is able to interact, I think, better in his classroom and be more outgoing.
And I do believe if we become proactive now, we won't have to be so reactive later.
I think our students themselves are the best spokespeople for the program. They come to school happy, they're excited to learn, they're ready to learn, and the teachers see that. And between the teachers and the children themselves, talking to their parents about how much they love school, I think that's the biggest piece. That's why we love the program.
Absolutely.